Good evening, everyone, and I am here tonight to play a game that I have bought about a month ago, NFL Blitz Pro. This is one that I missed out on completely given the year that it came out. This is NFL Blitz Pro right here for the Xbox. I'm playing it today. It came out in 2003, so in 2003 I was pretty in deep with Madden 2003, Madden 2004. Those are some of my favorites. You couldn't really get me to pay attention to any football games in that era. But I'm a huge fan of Midway sports games. And I did have Blitz 2002 on the PlayStation 2. I liked the game kind of. There was one feature of it though I really didn't enjoy, and that was the when you put in your initials for your player, when you would throw a pass, it would switch to that player's skin tone and jersey number. So like if I was, say, Steve Young, I would have like the number 1 and my initials when I was controlling that player. And if I threw it to Terrell Owens, then it would switch to like my profile guy. So I really didn't like that. What's up, Adam? How's it going in the chat tonight? I'm just here gonna play this game for the first time. I'm thinking, well, you know, I know this game is going to be based off an arcade sports football engine. That's kind of like Tecmo Super Bowl, where the game's meant to be simulation, but it ends up being a great arcade game. So I'm thinking maybe I missed out on something here. I always liked the way this game looked in the transition to the PlayStation 2 Xbox era. So let's see what this game has to offer tonight. And feel free to shoot me any questions in the chat. Adam, are you thinking about going to that Tecmo Cleveland NBA Jam tournament? I know you've been asking about an NBA Jam tournament for at least a year already. That looks like to be the next big one, and it's happening this summer. Let's just look at the options real quick. 3-minute quarters, pro. I'm okay with all that for playing the game the first time. Let's just get right into one here. Be the home team. And you know, I looked into getting this game. Oh, you got a username? I like that. I thought they got rid of all their arcade type initial entries by this time. So it's more of like a profile though, it looks like. I thought I just did this. Struggling here to start. Oh, there we go. So it just got hit over. So Tampa Bay and Oakland was the Super Bowl this year. That was a great Super Bowl. Oakland had Jerry Rice, Tim Brown, Rich Gannon. I believe Garrison Hearst was running back. Tampa Bay had one of the Barbers, Warren Sapp, Brad Johnson, the quarterback. I think they still had Allstock too. But I'm not going to use those teams. But this was a great year in the NFL. I might even go Bears because the Bears were stacked during this time. They're not rated too good in this. Detroit looking terrible. Colts. So what, I'd be playing against the Colts? Let's play the Jaguars. Atlanta. I'm going to go Atlanta. I'm always a big Michael Vick guy in this era. Of course, the rival game was Madden 2004 in this era, and Vick was on the cover. And in this game, you have Terrell Owens on the cover, which I think he's perfect, controversial type character to go on an NFL Blitz game. Georgia Dome's fine. So they have stadium selected. So I think they went to try to make this a little bit more simulation, but I'm actually hoping that it plays more like their arcade games. So we'll see what happens. I'm wondering if like the penalties are on, stuff like that. Adam's saying he's been working a lot, trying to get my computer to start up my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to you doing that, Adam. I think you should. You have a burning passion for NBA Jam. I know that much. You got to get to some of these tournaments. I know you've been asking. I think you're further down south, so I'm not sure how far Cleveland is for you.
Gathers it at the 1-yard line.
Alright, so I got the ball here. So, the classic R buttons, turbo. Really like the way this looks. I mean, there's still, I guess, a little bit, the shoulder pads are a little big, but overall, the models are great in this game. So you got more traditional plays.
1st and 10.
And they don't give you a long time to pick, do they?
Right side.
Quick 5-yard gain.
Second down.
What's the play clock at? Wow, 10 seconds? That's crazy.
2nd down and 5.
Excuse me, I might have to look at the Xbox controller a little bit. Quick throw over. Yo, is this Tecmo 2000? That's what I'm hoping it is. It's NFL Blitz Pro on the Xbox, the OG Xbox as it's called.
The defense with a 4-man front.
Dude, Midway's first take into the simulation football, and you know they kept their arcade engine and just made it 11 on 11. Man, I don't know where. So running's pretty easy. I like that compared to what you had to do in some of the games at the time where you had to like either hit triangle or R2 to make them run. So here we got some Falcons plays. So the white and the black buttons you do have to use. Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw some gameplay footage of it because I know I missed out on this one. And still, they were still officially licensed by the NFL at this point. I'm like, I really got to give this game a try. Oh, God. And that's always the risk. Running with the quarterback. Fumbling. So I kind of like the way... This is not what I wanted to do. Let's hopefully it just picks a play for me. Okay. Vic's got running room.
Gets airborne, and he's out of bounds.
And it looks like he's steaming, so they still have the fire, which is cool.
Let's see if they can punch this one in.
Yeah, Midway, they really always made their sports games fun. That's why you can't really go wrong with the Midway sports title. Oh, wow. I read that, but oh, TJ Duckett, man, this is when they had work done and TJ Duckett. I love this backfield. They might have led the league in rushing. Yeah, he's steaming. Looks like he can still get on fire. With a guy who could just pound the ball, Warwick Dunn was your speed back. Then you had Vic tearing it up in the backfield. All right, let's just kick this field goal. See how the field goals are in this one. Just basic accuracy. Wow. Missed an extra point. But so far, I mean, this is a pick up and play type game, which I really like. You know, you don't always get that in the Xbox, GameCube, PS2 era. Controller's got a ton of buttons. But so far, just with basic knowledge of playing NFL Blitz, I'm able to play this game pretty easily. No problem so far. Just a tackle there. So they still have the animations, like there was a push animation right there. You wouldn't have that in Madden or NFL 2K, that kind of tackle. It looked like pass interference, so maybe there's not penalties in this, which... Am I going to Cleveland? We need Vic on fire. I'll get him on fire this game. Yeah, I know. I should have scored with Vic. I don't know what plays I was picking. I just need to run on a passing play. Am I going to Cleveland? No, I am not going to Cleveland, but we are throwing a satellite tournament on this Monday at D-Men Tap. So it's going to be a double elimination combo tournament of Tecmo Super Bowl and NBA Jam TE. So we'll be doing that one. And the winner gets paid entry into both.
1st and 10.
I'm doing that because I won 3rd place in my own tournament. In 3rd place, I was going to pay entry into Tecmo Cleveland. Tecmo Cleveland ran a sale, 15% off, so I'm like, screw it, I'll just buy a ticket for both. And whoever wins the tournament on Monday night is going to get free entry into that tournament. And it's a Saturday and Sunday tournament. I won't be going. The only reason is because I'm committed to the Midwest Tecmo Super Bowl tournament in Cincinnati, Ohio, the weekend before, which I won a satellite tournament for that. Last time I was there in May. So, but I think pretty much Green Magic's in the chat right now. He'll be one of the guys playing Monday night. All the guys that I play with are pretty much trying to go to Tecmo Cleveland. And Green Magic should, because he won the NBA Jam TE solo tournament at Tecmo Madison this year, the Friday night retro. So he'll be one of the favorites to win it. But as you know, Kevin Catarillo is a native of Ohio, so I'm sure he will be present. Midway Sports presents NFL Blitz Pro. Yeah, I'm really liking this game. I could say right now that I missed out on something with this one. But like I said, 2000 Madden 2004 was the one I was playing. Let's see, is this one online? It's only System Link, so that was a big selling point for me at the time. Like, Madden 2003 was the first Madden to go online, so they had that. This game didn't have that. You could only link the systems. But at this stage of the game, I like to play live anyways, against live opponents, so it doesn't matter. How come Carl Lee is on the Pro Bowl instead of Haddix? That's a good question. I think Tampa Bay just got no respect. Haddix, I think he was a rookie or second-year player getting all those picks, so they made him good. So he just didn't get the recognition he deserved. Carl Lee, Vikings had a stout defense back in the day, and he got the nod there. But, and you know, in Tecmo Super Bowl, you could edit your Pro Bowl roster. So if you're not feeling them, just take them out. Oh, wow, is that a rock bottom? So they're moving the ball. I gotta start doing something. And you know, there's not a ton of plays to go through.
Smith in motion.
Like you would get in 2K or Madden, which is good. You just pretty much pick the formation. You got 3 plays to choose from. Makes it a lot quicker. You know, Midway was always good at, like, hey, let's speed up the pace here. Let's get straight into the action. They're just moving the ball, and I'm not able to stop them. This game's very offensive, which offensive games are usually they're a little bit more fun.
Offense with the extra beef up front.
It's tough when it's hard to move the ball, but Jacksonville. Okay, so you saw what I did right there. I just blasted the guy, so there's no pass interference in this game. I blasted him, got a pick, and didn't take it to the house, but that'll keep him from scoring. So now it's time to unleash Vic and see if I can get him on fire. Just go the shotgun. The old trick with Vic is you run a shotgun play and then find one where the receivers all go to the other side and you just run with him. They're holding their blocks pretty good. Here we go. Big first down for Vic. Oh, there is a couple plays here.
1st and 10.
And you know what? I have no idea on my controller. Wow. The white and black buttons. I know where to press them, but I don't know which one's which. I don't have that committed to memory. And no, I'm not using the Duke controller. I'm using the updated Xbox controller. Oh, we're running this. Vic driving down the field. He's steaming. He's leading the troops.
Vic is starting to steam.
He's steaming. They even call it steaming. Oh, he's on fire. I told you, Road Gamer, he's getting on fire. And his left arm is on fire. So now I would say it's time to chuck one down the field. Let his arm do the work. Let's hit the tight end right now. Oh crap, wrong play.
And he'll lose yards on the carry.
Vic's still on fire though. I don't know what happened there.
Has time to throw.
It's too fast for him. Vic already had a bullet arm.
You know, get himself a nice warm cup of tea, some honey, take a nice bubble bath.
The fire doesn't help because you just rolling too hard.
Leads by 6. Vic, the pass.
Oh, I hit that. That's a touchdown.
27 yards. Jack, Zach, whatever you want to call it.
Did he even throw it with his left hand? Oh, look at that. The receiver barely had to look to catch it. Steamin' and beamin'. I like that one. Alright, let's try to get that 2 back. Shouldn't be too hard.
Atlanta will go for 2.
Use my instincts. They're coming in. Vic just scrambles around. I feel like Vic's like QB Eagles in Tecmo Super Bowl right now. Just make it all happen with them.
And here we go.
Oh, that's a boot.
He takes it. Follows his blockers.
27 seconds to score. Just got to hold him to a field goal here and I'll be in good shape.
He was just a step or two away from breaking that return into something special, Chris.
But yeah, I bought this game for $6 off eBay and that was with free shipping. So I can say right now it's well worth that. You know, depending on Green Magic's still looking at this. Maybe he thinks this is one we should play in a monthly tournament at D-Men Tap, which we're going to start doing monthly tournaments and new games. So if you got any requests for games that you think we should play a tournament once a month, we're all ears. Right now, we're thinking about doing NBA Showtime on Dreamcast in July. But we got to see if Brian comes through with the second game. I have the cabinet and 4 copies of the game, but I don't have 2 on the Dreamcast.
Can't find anyone.
I had another pick. I have it on N64. What is QB Eagles? You know. QB Challenge, get Randall Cunningham going.
We're gonna throw the ball.
I have it on NBA Showtime on PlayStation and N64, but the Dreamcast version is superior. So it'd be really hard to, well, not really hard, but it just looks, it looks pretty much like the arcade. So that's the version we want to play, stream.
Good protection.
Oh,
And Dunn makes the reception.
Jags calling a timeout. I don't know
Final timeout.
what they think they're going to do with 9 seconds, but all right.
They'll have to hurry this one up.
We definitely should play this one. Looks fun. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's a quick pick up and play. Oh wow, I got lucky there. Finneran, I remember he was slow. I can't believe they can't catch him. I didn't know what the timeout button was, but there's no penalties. There's not a lot of pressure, but it still gives you that feel that you're, picking your NFL type plays. Also, defensively, there's a little bit more strategy to it. Oh, nothing. No big halftime show. That's a bummer.
All right, let's get on with
That was kind of lame from Midway. Just go straight to a halftime screen. Steely just hit bombs.
Heads up field. Looks for an opening.
And he's slow.
32. And the offense will begin their series.
I think the QB challenge at D-Men Tap one night with 8 players would be pretty a lot of fun. I think we'd have a great time with that. I think we will make that happen soon. And we might not put money down on it, but that's something that we have to do.
Here they come. Unloads. Swatted away.
I'm going to try to make that happen this summer.
But that was a nice play.
We could play a few rounds of that. It does have a season. I'm pretty sure that it would have stats. I mean, that was the whole purpose of this game, is to make it an NFL Blitz that had, the features of a full game. I think this is when they started to feel like they had to provide more than just the arcade experience, because people were looking for more in-depth stuff in their game. Like in Madden, the franchise mode, you set like the, what's it called, concessions, like how much the prices are and stuff. I never cared for that, but I guess some people liked it.
Taylor runs it inside, and he's down at the 46.
He was going nowhere.
Just like hitting a brick wall.
QB challenge blindfolded? Brian blindfolded? Oh man, do we really even need to blindfold him for that? I mean, we'll see what he's able to do.
The defense is stacking up against the run.
I mean, Brian, he's got some wins this year in the Retro Sports League, but oh, look at that. Just blatant disrespect. Steps over the guy.
3rd down and 7.
D'Angelo Hall. Just stud corner on the Falcons. Jacksonville's just not able to do much.
The defense seems to be looking out for the fake.
Didn't pick punt return, but I'll send the guy back there.
He gets it away. He gathers it in. Heads upfield. Looking for daylight. Spins.
Oh, almost busted him on that spin.
The Falcons eat up a big.
Your beer was 99 cents in franchise?
Well done.
Man, fans of that town must have loved you. But not the police force. Probably had a lot to deal with after those games.
On the move, and he reels in the long ball. Atlanta has a 1st down.
Nice heads-up play to make the catch.
Yeah, I think this one of the reasons I probably wasn't that interested in this is that it didn't have online. At that time, that was like one of the main things I cared about.
He fades back.
Oh, they finally got a sack on Vic.
Menacing hit on the quarterback, Gator.
Yeah, he just sacked him like a British employer.
College football was the best to play safeties. Yeah, I know what you're saying there. Just like you felt like you had less responsibility.
Blitz coming. The throw, and that's
Oh man, I
incomplete.
hit the wrong button on that one. Always wanted to play this. I read they brought franchise mode to Blitz. I'll have to look to see if they have franchise mode on this one. I mean, I know that they have a season, but
From the shotgun.
that would be pretty cool. We'll see what it has to offer.
The pass.
Just blindly throwing it to work
And
done.
he's down at the 49.
I'm going for it. Third quarter. All right, here we go.
They're going for it.
They're asking for it by doing that.
Scramble.
Clear out.
Keep it.
Vic's got the speed. He's got the space. He's got the first down.
27-yard line.
Your stadium was deemed a terrorist site for 99 cents beers? He can't buy a bucket.
Sixth play of this
That was a
drive.
bad Tim Kittrell. I could do better than that.
The blitz is on. Scrambling, and he hauls in the
Man,
deep
the
ball.
Jacksonville D can't do anything
And that
big.
touchdown would not
I'm a little bit disappointed in the defensive AI in this one.
And they'll attempt the extra point.
Oh man, I'm bad at the field goal kicking.
No good. Wide right.
It's hard to get in the middle for some reason. Got to get used to that. I could do this one, just
And it's up.
the curve is throwing me off or something on the meter on the field goal. But it's easy. You just got to get it right in the middle. It's like a carnival game.
So a decent
You think you're
gain
trying to get it in the middle
He was a little frustrated that he didn't break it for bigger
in those
yardage, Chris.
ticket redemption machines, and then it just doesn't happen for you, and you
Four-down
miss an
line
extra
for the
point.
defense.
They had to boot the ball away last time, but the first play of the drive is like a new beginning, Chris, like a baby.
And it's incomplete.
Can't be throwing those in there. We're just gonna play the blitz rules. Pass interference, not a thing.
Look at that guy. He is heating up. Man in motion. Drops back.
There's also a blitz game that I have on Xbox that I'll have to bust out another time, and that's Blitz the League. So the first blitz without the NFL license is also in this era, and that's when they started busting out like the hardcore drugs and stuff in the game.
Lines up on the left.
So I went down another path once EA bought the NFL license, which
And so they're short
to this
first
day
down.
still can't be too happy about. I don't know
It's
who
go time.
is.
It's time to step up. It's time to
Play
lay down the
QB
line.
challenge
They
and
just gotta do
take
it.
shots when you mess up. Oh man, that would have to be something I do here at the house.
And they'll punt this one
At
away.
Dima and Tap,
I'd be going
not
for
only
in
would
this
it-
situation.
jack up the bill pretty quickly, but
It's up.
there would be shots flowing.
Fielded at the 12.
People wouldn't be able to drive. I could probably get the guy. Oh wow,
Follows his blockers. And the jab
that was cheap.
And he's down at the 18-yard
Blitz
line.
League 1 and 2 are classic. Yeah, I also have the Blitz on PlayStation 3. You want to play Rocket League? Yeah, I have to get back on Rocket League. It's been a while since I've been on the PlayStation 4 to play
Atlanta leads by
games.
20.
This should be good for a laugh.
It's been a lot of Nintendo lately, as you know,
Smith brings it
but
and they have the first
I
down.
have quite the log of PlayStation 2 and Xbox games to get to. GameCube, you know, I like the GameCube, and there's a lot of sports games on there, but whenever I go to look to buy them, it's just,
Smith lines up
they're a
right
few
back.
dollars more. And it's like, what's the point of buying it on the GameCube if you get the same exact game, which pretty much, most of them are pretty close. If I could just get it on PS2 or Xbox.
Smith is heating up big time.
Which controller do you guys like in that era the best? The PlayStation 1, this Xbox controller, or the GameCube? I know a lot of people like the GameCube to play Super Smash Brothers.
Third
even
down.
the last
Offense is running
two.
out of chances to get in the end zone. Brady goes in motion. Short pass right.
Oh, couldn't keep Jacksonville out of the end zone. The computer's making the rubber band AI run right now.
Touchdown. There you go,
I
guys.
forced a punt,
Way to go.
fumbled.
6 points
Now
for
they
you
scored a
guys.
touchdown.
Gator, the players can't
Hopefully I
hear
don't
through the
fumble
glass
my
there.
next kickoff.
Glass.
Played Little League.
I thought it was stuff.
What are you, a bird?
I think I got that
Too
one.
far to the right. No good.
Oh, the computer can't kick extra points either. They might be trying the onside,
By 14.
which if they are, I'm not ready for it.
And there she goes. Brought in at the 4-yard line.
This guy fumbled last time.
Looks for an opening.
I'm not going to try any spin moves.
And he stopped at the 43.
I think that's what led to the fumble last time.
If you've got something you want pounded, smashed, or ball peened,
PlayStation always lighter than Xbox.
Ask for Randy.
Never
Ryan
played.
Sledgehammer, right next door to Wendy's Antique Crystals on
Ugh.
92.
Well, as far as sports
Leads
games,
by 14.
they're pretty much all on Xbox and PS2 anyways.
And he has the
I
first.
really like some of the
Read and a good throw by the
Microsoft Xbox sports
Defense is
exclusives.
loaded up against the run.
So that's I don't know, maybe Xbox is the superior sports system
And Douglas brings
out
it
of the
in.
three.
So he picks up the first
Who
down.
won the NBA Jam tournament at Colorado? That one got postponed. I think it's called the Coin Jam. That one is supposed to happen sometime in September, but I don't know if those guys have ever thrown this large of a tournament before. So, and they postponed the first one, so we'll just have to keep our eye on it and see if it happens.
Takes it himself.
Oh, Vic's got to be close to 100 yards rushing.
Gain of 9. So what do you think they're going to run here, Gator?
I think it's about time they run the old hook and ladder.
Oh man,
Yeah, plus the fire truck tears up the field.
so much for steaming up. They brought the blitz that time. I wasn't ready for it.
Folks, tried the veal. I don't understand.
Couldn't pick
There's
it
no
up.
shame in throwing the ball away, Chris.
All you got to do is press a button. He's dropping back. As
Oh,
all
I got
day.
him open. What kind of throw is that?
He overshot his receiver.
Yeah, just a little tall.
He's
there,
wide
Chris.
open. He
Nothing the
just
receiver could have
threw it
played
way
about
over
that.
his head.
Showing no
I think I'm
mercy
gonna have to
here on
run
fourth
for this
down.
first
Now
down.
they're just rubbing it in.
Vic. He's got to hurry. Tucks it in. And Brackens
Bad
makes the
choice.
stop. Well, they can't convert
But
on
there was
third
nothing
down,
open on the
so they'll have to
corners.
hand the ball
Saw
over.
something in the
Well,
middle.
quarterback
Just
decided
couldn't
to take
navigate
some
my
yards
way
with his
through.
legs. Problem is he didn't get
Turnover on downs. Just trying to make this one interesting, I guess.
Feeling the heat. And it's incomplete. Oh, he had it, but the defender knocked it out of there.
Nice job by the defense to separate him from
But
the
yeah,
ball.
some of these sports games you have to look at the manual. It takes a while to figure out the controls. Not this game. Just put it in, play, have a good time.
With time, leaping.
No penalties, no BS to worry about.
Gotta try a little dump
Just
pass.
good,
You can
solid
break one and
NFL
keep
Blitz
going.
fun.
Atlanta leads by 14.
Let's see if they can improve on their
I
not
think
so
even
good
my brother
conversion.
Lumberjack Cracks would enjoy this one.
Fades back. And Smith makes the catch.
'Cause once you start adding all the plays into it, he gets lost easily. He doesn't know what he's looking at. That's why Tecmo Super Bowl's a good game for everybody, because it only shows the offensive plays. And
Takes it.
defensively, you just try to guess them, and you're always in a 3-4 defense.
And he's down at the 16-yard line. Not much doing there.
Yeah, give the coverage team
And it
credit on that
doesn't
play. They
doesn't
did a
make it
great
too
job getting to the
confusing,
returner
even
before he
for
got a
people
chance to
who
head
aren't
upfield.
into sports games.
He fades back. Incomplete.
Vic's gone ice cold. He's not too happy. Nor should he be with all these drops.
Looking patiently. The pass.
Just jog one.
And it falls incomplete. The offensive line worked hard.
Playing good D.
Couldn't hit a receiver.
Strong effort by the defensive back to get a hand on it.
You know, I'll try a run for good
Third and
measure.
10.
Third down hasn't posed much of a challenge for this team so far, Chris.
Flips it. Takes it outside.
Ooh, gets the first.
And he's knocked out of bounds downs at the 28-yard
Kurt
line.
Warner.
Atlanta is able to
Kurt
pick up the
Warner,
first.
not
It is
Warner.
essential to have a good running game
Kurt
here.
Warner's Arena Football Unleashed.
You don't have meat.
What do you guys think about the XFL coming back? Excited for it? Don't care?
Breaks it to the outside. Brought down at the 42. Jacksonville calls time.
I think I've done a stiff arm all game. I got to figure out what that button is.
This will be the 5th play of the drive. Here comes the blitz. And Finneran makes the
Finneran, the big receiver, makes the catch.
Now they're not far from the first. Will they stay on the ground or go for a home run?
We'll get the first. You don't worry about that.
On the keeper. And they make the stop.
X's dive as well. I'm guessing stiff arm's probably the left trigger.
Will take their final timeout. Defense with 4 linebackers.
But yeah, I feel like I grew up in a spoiled era of video games because in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was just so many games, so much competition. And then just going back years later, wanting to play some of these games, and they're just so cheap, and they're still really good games. You know, it's crazy. I guess if you're not a sports gamer, though, they're not as cheap all the time.
Atlanta gets another first down.
He must have taken a few
18
ballet
seconds.
classes in the offseason. Nice catch.
Atlanta.
So the timeout is just the back button, as you would expect. Would be select on the PlayStation controller. XFL might show NFL what their roots are. Yeah. He's been having a few tonight. It's good to hear, Adam. We need to get you loosening up in the chat.
And he's down at the 21. And that'll bring up second down.
The defense did a good job.
Might as well try to score a touchdown before this one's all said and done.
Second timeout. Drops back. Flushed out of the pocket.
And gets it. Peerless Price.
Points on the board.
Peerless Price was the burner on this Atlanta Falcons team. I'm just still trying to get this field goal. 90s was a golden age of gaming. Yeah, 90s. I would say, yeah, I would even extend it to the early 2000s, like when these systems were out: PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube, and even Dreamcast. I mean, that's really when the graphics at home leaped over what was happening in the arcades for the first time in history. We are the true gamers. The new Madden will have a new halftime show. Well, they need a lot of new something. Oh, that was a terrible
Here
kick.
we go again. Taken at the 6. With the stiff arm, and he's
Yeah, you could pretty much go back to like 90. Even I mean the 90s, the late Nintendo games were awesome. And then you had Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. If you go from like 1990 to like 2005, I mean, that era of gaming, there's just so much variety of what you can play, so many different systems. Now it's a little bit more streamlined. And I pick up the win, 27-6 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What are my top 3 basketball video games? Top 3 basketball video games. None on the Nintendo. NBA. It would be these 3 games. Not in a particular order. NBA Jam, NBA Showtime, and NBA Street, the first one. Those, to me, are the top 3 basketball games. And yes, they are all arcade basketball games, but I think those bring out the best in the sport. And obviously the success of NBA Jam showed you something there. So yeah, there is a franchise mode. NBA Street just, at that point, not only was Midway losing it in their football franchise, but they were also losing it top 3 Batman. They were losing it in the basketball. NBA hoops compared to NBA Street, there's no comparison. NBA hoops went backwards even though they added 3-on-3. They took out all their arcade features, and then NBA Street just did it to the extreme. The one thing I will say about NBA Street, looking back to playing it, is because you have like all the tricks and like turbos buttons you have to hit, it's not as easy of a pick up and play game as like NBA Showtime is, where, you know, to do all the tricks you just double tap turbo. So there's a lot more button combinations involved in NBA Street, but you don't necessarily have to know them all to be good at the game. But the game breakers, if you could hit a bunch of those, that makes a huge difference. Play QB Challenge. I want to play QB Challenge again, but I'll have to get a crew over. I think it's fun playing it with at least 2 people.
Well, I'm with you, bud.
So yeah, let me check out this franchise mode and just see what it has to offer, and then maybe I'll play one more. But it definitely has more, even though they're 3-minute quarters, it has that simulation length to it. So I'm not going to play a game here. I just want to see what was offered in the franchise mode. Xbox hard drive still alive and kicking. So you can put multiple users in there, which is cool. You do a fantasy draft. Is that really it? Start season, play week. So yeah, you have your stats. It doesn't look like there's anything too mind-blowing here. But you do have stats for the franchise. But yeah, franchise mode, that's what it was all about. You know, in this era, it's like, you don't have franchise mode, you only have season. What's that about? I remember playing Showtime at Kmart in the arcade and had to have it for Christmas. LOL, I still have it for N64. Yeah, NBA Showtime, it's one of the underrated basketball. It's not one that people talk about. They talk about NBA Jam, but Midway, of course, made NBA Showtime. I feel like they got the balance right with NBA Showtime. NBA Hang Time is great. I love that game, but it's still really defensive compared to even NBA Jam. Whereas, okay, whatever. Save, yeah. Whereas Showtime, they balanced it out. It's harder to block. You have to precisely time blocks. And then they added the 5 foul limit to pushes, which is good because the pushing, if you get good at it, it's overpowered. So at least you like, oh, if I push this many times and don't get steals, they're going to get sent to the line for 3 points. And they even had advertisements with Shaq, like, joking around, like, I don't want to go to the line, it's so hard to hit the free throw that's worth 3 points. Make your beers cheap, but stadium will be on fire 2 years later. Alright, so let's play one more. You know, NBA Ballers, I do have one of them sitting right here for PS2. I never got into that series. Pretty much Midway did a good job of losing me in this era. I'm not saying it's a bad game, it just wasn't attracted to it after NBA Street came out, and then NBA Street came out with 2 more games. So the marketing behind Ballers, I wasn't really interested in that. And plus it was more like one-on-one, and I wasn't trying to do that. Basketball's a team game. You gotta at least have 2-on-2. The Rams rushing. Must still have Marshall Faulk. I really enjoyed playing with Vic in that last one, not gonna lie. But let's go Bears, Packers. ballers. Keep it the same.
Gator, I don't know if you have any free time over the weekend, but
What do you think of NBA Ballers? That's the question. You like NBA Jam. You like Midway as a developer. What do you think of NBA Ballers? I am going to relive that series eventually, but
well, you know it's not a real monster.
it wasn't as attractive to me as a game like NFL Blitz Pro, where it's 11-on-11 football, fast arcade, midway, hard-hitting action.
Why would you even go to that's the waste of time.
One mistake, though, they made with this one, they did not have Tim Kittredge as an announcer. Don't know what that's about. We're in Soldier Field, it's 50 degrees. I totally sucked at NFL Street. I'm not good at it all, but love the backyard football feel. Yeah, NFL Street. Now that's one game I was really anticipating after NBA Street, but I'm not saying it's not good. I just felt like it was way too offensive. Like it just didn't feel like there were enough players on the field to make it feel like football for me. It was more like what you're saying, like backyard football. Like even NFL Blitz, the original arcade game, this one they had Cordell Stewart. I might have a little chance to run around. I got Slash.
Looks like the defense is expecting a run.
Yeah, even the original Blitz with 8 players, 8 on 8, it felt like, come on, get that first down. It felt like there was enough players on the field for football. Street Hoops and N1. I do have both of those games. Want to play them, but haven't got into them yet. That's what I'm saying about this era of gaming. There was just so many options. Wow, that was risky. Might fumble. MLB Slugfest is a good one. Yeah, I'd play in it. I'd play in Slugfest. I like Slugfest. I've played that one before.
1st and 10.
Slugfest was cool because there was really nothing like it. No one really did arcade baseball that great in the 90s. There was a World Series 99 that came out by Sega, but really, if you think about it, for me, RBI baseball was still the best one. But then MLB Slugfest came out, and that brought a whole nother element. It had funny commentary. Oh, get that hit. It had on fire. You could punch the guys at bases, lose the ball.
3rd and 10.
Cordell's just not doing it like Vic was. Oh, he just threw it behind him. This is NFL Blitz. I'm going for it. I don't have time for punts right now.
Looks like they're gonna
maybe later in the game if I need to ice it, but
it's a blitz. Might as well eat lunch back there. And White brings it down.
Drills it into Des White. Griffey 64. Yeah, I like Ken Griffey winning run on Super Nintendo. Who is the king of football to you? Tecmo, Madden, or 2K? Well, the king is Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES. That's the best football game of all time. But as a series, I cannot say that it's Tecmo Bowl. There's just no way. The original Tecmo Bowl is great. There was some good Tecmo Super Bowl games on Super Nintendo and Genesis, but they're not as good as the NES one. And then pretty much after that, it was over with. Madden, I love their run from 2001 to 2005 before they put the QB vision on and made you forced you to play that way online. The 2K series, man, that one really was great when it first came out on the Dreamcast. We saw nothing like it, and then it capped it all off with a nice ESPN 2K5, which I don't think to this day an NFL game has presented itself that well since. So Just off, I would have to say, man, it's really tough. 2K, probably 2K. Even though for me personally in that era it was Madden, but I recognize in retrospect what 2K was able to do, and they have to get the nod for me there. But of course now it's only Madden, but that's forced. Oh man, Cordell's on fire, but they brought the heat. NBA Showtime, you get 3 alley-oops in a row and you'll receive Team Fire. Of course, yeah, that started in NBA Hang Time. But in NBA Hang Time, you had 25 seconds, no matter what, after you did that. Oh, I was a little late. He still gets it. Touchdown. Whereas in NBA Showtime, as soon as the other team makes an alley-oop, your fire's over. And it's not that hard to do in NBA Showtime. But it's still a good feature. It was something that players wanted in the second version of NBA Jam, EA Sports one. I just can't buy an extra point. I'm just going for 2 from now on. I got slash. I'm just running it in. I don't care. Yeah, Griffey 64 is one I gotta explore more. Didn't really play much baseball on 64. I was playing PlayStation between 2 games, Triple Play and the MLB series. I thought the MLB series looked bad, and I don't know why it did, because 989 Sports made the game, and Game Day was always the best looking football game at the time, but MLB looked bad, but it played great. I love the batting cursor in that game and the sound of the bat when you hit the ball. Triple Play looked better, but didn't play as good. So those were the 2 I would play, but of course there's other options like Hardball and the Griffey games.
5 defensive backs.
But me and my brother played the RBI baseball version. That's Japanese only. Famista 64. So if you ever hear the name Famista, that's RBI baseball continued. But they're Japanese only games. We played that a while back. That game was pretty fun on the 64. Of course, they stick with the more cartoonish, fat player graphics. Love 2K gameplay, but Madden was more detailed with holdouts, owner mode, prices. But I'll take 2K overall. Yeah, played Triple Play series, but took forever to play one game. Yeah, Triple Play at 98 was the game for me, but I got over it pretty quick. Yeah, a lot of people say that like MLB MVP baseball is the best series, but I think they got a little taste of their own medicine with some more legalities where EA couldn't make baseball games anymore. And they just kind of gave up on the series after they didn't have the MLB license. They didn't do what Midway did and tried anyways. Oh, the one-hander, Marty Booker. Marty Booker had huge hands. He was a guy that could make a catch like that, and he was also the emergency quarterback on the Bears. He threw some passes for the Bears, especially Hail Marys at the end of the half. I've seen him do that a couple times. Oh, man. Packers is playing terrible defense. And Davis rumbles in for a touchdown. What up, Infamous Smoke Gaming? How's it going tonight? Retro Madden. Yeah. No QB vision. No thank you. You can't be serious. I have heard people say that they did like the QB vision. But it's just an extra thing that makes the game more difficult. Especially like if I was playing with Cordell Stewart right now in this era, his sliver would be so small I wouldn't be able to throw past anybody.
6 plus 2 is 8, Chris. 8.
It's an okay night. Well, hopefully it gets a little bit better than okay. This is the second game of NFL Blitz Pro I'm playing tonight. This is the Bears-Packers rivalry, and as you know, the Packers pretty much own the Bears.
So the offense will start this drive at the
It's a sad situation.
Just a step or two away from breaking
Bears
the
have been a
return with something special,
pretty
Rich.
sorry franchise
first play of the
since
drive.
They punted the ball
Urlacher
last
left the
time.
team.
Let's see if they can stick it into the end zone on this drive.
And they weren't always great when they had Urlacher, but we did have some great seasons.
But that was a nice play.
But ever since that, Jay Cutler hasn't brought us to the promised land. I don't know what's up with that. Pro Gamer's all about this Rocket League. I think we're gonna have to make it happen one night. I think though, me going into this second game probably hurt my chances of that happening tonight. 4-6 Bear.
Offense, 3 tight ends in.
Mike Brown. Now that was a safety on the Bears.
Drops back.
He made some great plays. He can cover a lot of ground on the field. Good hands too for a safety. Yeah, QB vision definitely did ruin it. I just don't like how, you know, the thing about Madden is, so they have the monopoly on the NFL. I'm pretty sure that they have the ESPN license, but they barely use it at all. But then, as you know, the NBA, they try to make NBA Live, and 2K, NBA 2K is the game. And they have, you know, the agreement with TNT or whatever to use those guys. So they have the ESPN license in NBA Live, but they use like the whole broadcast like ESPN. They have the announcers, they have all the graphical transitions. So I'm just like, why don't they add any flavor to Madden? They have announcers that you wouldn't hear in an NFL game. Come on, Stewart, get out there. Oh, just gets the first.
Chicago has a first down.
And it's just, it's really bland.
That's the way football's supposed to be played.
And I don't know if it's totally done by design. I'm not saying the gameplay is bad, but just the extras are what's bland. The presentation.
Calls it in. And he heads out of bounds. And remember, folks, stop in at Perrine Sledgehammer. If you've got something you want pounded.
When the Bears got Cordell Stewart, I was pretty happy about the acquisition, but it did not work out whatsoever. It was a rough season for the Bears. And I think that pretty much ended Cordell Stewart's career.
Flips it, cuts to the outside. And he's down at the 30.
He wasn't as slashy by the time the Bears got him. On the Steelers, he was fun to watch.
Chicago.
Madden's one of the worst monopolies of all time, for sure, in gaming. So you purchased NHL Hits 2002, NBA Live, and Tony Hawk's Underground on eBay. Oh, Marty Booker. That's a touchdown. Well, NHL 2002, or Hits 2002, is one of my favorite hockey games, for sure. That's fast-paced arcade action. It's got a good 90s rock, or not 90s, but early 2000s rock soundtrack in there. Got some Korn, Limp Bizkit. It was good stuff to listen to at the time when you're playing a hockey game where you're just crushing people. Yeah, Tim Kittredge is the best, man. He's... What the... How are all of these missing? It's an extra point. It's not off by that much.
And there she goes.
See, that power was like in the middle, but still I kicked it to like the 10-yard line, so... I don't know, their kicking meters don't make too much sense.
So a decent gain on the run back.
Live 2008... I think there's one of the lives that's highly regarded as the best one. But by that time, I wasn't playing much NBA Live, so I'm not sure which one exactly it is.
This should be good for a laugh.
They're coming after him. And Urlacher takes him down hard.
I would say my favorite NBA Live of all time, it's not one that holds up that well, is Live 98. On the PlayStation 2, I would play 2005 a lot, especially online.
Dropping back.
My friend Mike, the one with Carmelo Anthony on the cover.
Makes the grab. And Brown makes the stop.
Way to find the
There's
opening
our
man in the
lacquer.
defense. Nice completion.
Defense in the 4-3.
I need to switch to Urlacher. I don't know what I'm doing.
Favre.
He's steaming. Oh, I almost crushed someone. 98 for me is cool. It's NBA Live 2005. That's in high regards. It's a good one. Yeah, it really took them a while to make a good NBA Live. Whereas I thought Madden came right out of the gates in 2001, just blew us all away at the graphics. But it actually plays pretty well. I played it recently and streamed it, and I still really like that game. But Live 2001 was horrible.
Not much time left.
Man, it was bad. But they did improve it, and by the time they got to 2005, it was a fun game. In the zone. Yeah, in the zone. Konami was the one who made that series. That one was one that I just never really got into. It was like a rental for me. I'd rent it once, be like, okay, let's play NBA Live. Play 2K on the Dreamcast. But there's a lot of them out there, especially late 90s, early 2000s. I'll have to play some more of those. But believe it or not, there was actually some exclusive NBA series that only came out in Japan, so I'm trying to get my brother to get those games so he could stream them and talk about those, because they're games based off American sports, but they're exclusives to Japan, so I think those would be something pretty interesting to stream and play on the channel. Kobe Bryant courtside, that was a big one, and Shootout 98. Oh yeah, drafts were always fun. I always had more fun doing the draft than actually playing with the teams of the draft, because I always liked guys to be on the teams that they were supposed to be on. I felt like it was just easier to think about who you had to match up against. Whereas if guys are all over, scattered all over the place, it's just you don't know how to match up against them. Random dudes coming off the bench. I did like courtside back in the day. It was cool that Kobe Bryant had his own game, 20-0 halftime against the Packers. That wouldn't be happening with Cordell Stewart at quarterback in this era.
Brought in the end zone.
RSG's a roster stickler. I am. There's just certain things that I didn't like when I was playing games. The roster's scattered all over the place. I loved doing the fantasy drafts, but when it came to playing, I'm like, no, that guy's not supposed to be on this team.
He's back to pass. And Driver snares it. And
I don't know why that is, but it's just engraved. It's just engraved in me. Fox Sports Basketball PS1. There's definitely we played the college basketball one on N64. Is that one also college? I'm assuming so, since there was no NBA on Fox ever. The Favre finally making it happen. That was a pretty cool catch animation, not gonna lie.
1st and 10.
Urlacher.
Green takes it inside.
And I'm not doing much with Urlacher.
With the tackle. The defense bottled him up on that carry.
The middle linebacker is always a good guy to control on defense in some of these football games. They don't have a ton of responsibility. They're usually just guarding a running back, playing middle of the zone, or spying the QB. So they're not a guy where if you use them and you do the wrong thing on defense, that you're gonna like give up a touchdown. But you can make They're right in the middle of the field. You can see where they are, so they're always a good guy to control.
And he's knocked to the turf. The Pack have another first down.
You remember all the basketball games?
They got the first.
Misdrafted my 5-2K. I have old school guys. Jordan, 90, Ralph Sampson, Larry Johnson. Oh yeah, that looks like a good team.
Green running left and down at the 27, and his helmet went flying.
This defense has done a great job of stuffing the run.
Green's helmet popped off there. Late hits still go. Oh wow, just did the ninja get up right there.
Seventh play of the drive.
It's really amazing to be doing this to the Packers right now. I would have never guessed it.
And the Packers are now in the red zone.
Wow, he really had to go up strong to pull down that one. Now they're not far from the first. Will they stay on the ground or go for a home run over the top?
But this Bears defense was when
And they bring him down.
they were good. Urlacher, Ward Coleman, Mike Brown.
Give you a lot of confidence that you can move the chains on third down.
But they didn't have success until later when they had Rex Grossman at quarterback.
And the offense comes out with 3 tight ends. Drops back. Tipped, and it falls incomplete.
The
You know,
tip.
folks, when you're hungry for a steak but don't have the time for a full meal, jump into
Carrier?
a Stedman steak bar.
I don't have
Full
Carrier on
goodness
this
of a
defense.
20-ounce New York strip steak in convenient bar form. Try all the flavors. Grilled, smoked,
Mark Carrier, the
barbecue,
ball
and
hawk,
cherry.
Tecmo Super Bowl
Move on up to
top
Stedman.
interceptions
Breaks
in
to
the
the
game.
outside, and he fools no one but himself there. So he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Oh man. I loved it when they try to slip through the D and get cold busted like that.
Yeah, you know, I can appreciate a game that doesn't have penalties
And it's
or
swatted
fouls.
They don't really have a choice here. They've got to go
Just
for it.
because penalties in football games, unless you like blatantly pass interfered a guy, they usually have nothing to do with something you
away.
pressed on the
I wouldn't be
buttons.
surprised to see a fake here.
So it's just really the computer committing a penalty and then you taking the blame for
And
it.
he misses what should
Man,
have been
field
an
goals
easy
are
three.
tough to
That
come
is a
by.
very narrow margin.
Amon Green was a heck of a running back for a
Very
while.
difficult job the kicker has.
What is he, your brother? Those goalposts are umpteen feet across, and he was not that far away.
And Terrell,
Oh, David Terrell
Chicago gets
from
another set
Michigan.
down.
Everyone, he got drafted.
Solid
Tom
execution.
Brady made him look good in college. He turned out not to be that great of a receiver. He had moments, but
Not much time. Takes it himself. A pro ball effort
overall,
by Elijah
I think
Biamila.
he got picked third in the draft. He never lived up to that. Yeah, false start. I mean, offsides you can use or do that, so I guess I don't disagree with offsides, but
Second down and 9.
for sure, false start. It's like, oh, my lineman jumped offside. Oh, is that Gilbert Brown chasing me down?
That is the second time on this drive.
3/4 down.
1 quarter to go. Looks like I'm going to get a W here. Yeah, I'll just run the ball. No, I won't get 20 yards off a run.
Blitz coming. Looking patiently. And White
Oh,
makes the
and
grab.
more. Des White putting on the burners.
To the 20. He's to the 10, the 5, and the
That was
Bears
too easy.
put points on the board.
That's right. That's right. He knew what to do with that ball after he caught it. Take it to the house. To the house.
I wonder if it wasn't on pro, if the defenders would be making better plays on the ball. Because I feel like even there I kind of threw in the coverage, but he just couldn't get me. What's up, JC? How's it going? Did you get that NBA Showtime in tonight?
Interesting decision to go for 2. Flips it.
Anthony Thomas,
And the Bears
Rookie of the
make
Year.
it for 2. Guess they just wanted to keep in practice, huh?
There must be some
Didn't
bad
do too much
news
after he won Rookie of the Year.
Have an axe to grind.
Another Michigan
Chicago
guy.
is set to kick this one off.
Kind of like Rashawn Salam. Had a good rookie season, over 1,000 yards. Just didn't do much after that. Went to the XFL.
Looking for daylight.
XFL didn't do too much.
Not too shabby as far as runbacks go.
You got some practice in. Did you lose any games in NBA Showtime? That's the question.
Touch pass. Incomplete.
Incomplete. This is just the onslaught of the Packers. They gotta extend the plays a little bit. Favre's just chucking.
Play action. Unloads. And Brown.
You've been grinding on the show, Diamond Dynasty. What's your show about? Just one on some computer, yeah. You know, sometimes it's tough playing the midway sports games against the computer all the time. Because one, they're either cheap, or two, you just figure them out and you know how to get the win at the end. I know, like NFL Blitz, it's too easy against the computer for me. Showtime's still rough because the computer can get really cheap at the end of the game, especially after you beat it. You're playing like the Midway All-Stars. MLB The Show.
Yes, he lost it.
Gotcha.
So the offense will take over.
Does MLB The Show do any, like, championships?
Defense with
Madden does the, I guess it's called the Madden Challenge.
He's got pressure. And Thomas
Threw that a little bit too late,
up of 7.
but he makes the catch.
Nickel defense.
And then NHL's doing it now. One of the guys that I interviewed before
Right side.
was part of like the NHL '94 crew before that tournament. Art O'Call. He's one of the main commentators for the NHL streams that they do.
The pitch. Running right.
Does a good job too.
And he's brought down at the 43-yard line.
How long did it take you? It took months? Yeah, you know, when I got this arcade cabinet, I didn't beat it right away.
Day to throw.
But I didn't try to grind it out either.
The Bears.
You need some on fire?
And I have him here.
Let's see if I could hit Marty Booker a couple times.
1st and 10.
Well, yeah, it gets tough at the end. You'll have to repeat some.
And it's
What
incomplete.
the?
Coming up after the game.
It was a horrible
more
throw.
presentation of last week's
I
episode
don't think
of
we're going to get
24.
fired with Cordell
The
Stewart.
big issue of amusement parks. Just how amusing
Not
are
throwing
they?
balls like
And
that.
are workers lowering the bar for kids who have the right amount of cash? Tune in right after the game. Looks
Nobody's
downfield.
open.
Put some mustard on it. And it falls incomplete.
See, in previous NFL Blitz games with that tip up in the air, that would have been a pick. So they got rid of a lot of
Seventh
tip
play of the
picks, which those would always be frustrating.
drive. Fifth time. With nowhere to throw. Deflected. Incomplete.
I'm going to try to run for it. Just run some clock. Why not?
Showing no mercy here on 4th down.
That's completely
There's
unacceptable.
ranked seasons if you consider that tourney for MLB The Show and Diamond Dynasty and Challenge of the Week.
Pitches it. Right side.
Could he get it? Wow.
And
Terrible defense by the Packers.
Big pickup on the play by Thomas.
See, now you see, when aliens visit the Earth and observe the intricacies of our culture, even
Maybe we could get Anthony Thomas on fire.
of a good running game.
And he's down at the 12. He went nowhere on that play.
That's just good penetration by this defense.
Yeah, the graphics, the graphics are good in this game overall.
Play action. Pitch out. Takes it outside.
Here we go, Adrian Peterson.
And Roger Villamila makes the stop.
Good penetration by the defense there. He had nowhere to go but
He's a
down.
good, solid backup running back for the
They've been doing
Bears.
a great job of converting on third down all game, Chris.
Flips it. Brought down at the 7-yard line.
Fourth down. Packers are calling timeouts.
And they'll go for it here on 4th down.
Not cool.
I know he is. He was steaming. Now he's not though. I didn't like that 5-yard gain. Oh man.
Well, they don't make it, so
Well, I went for it. Up 28. Don't feel bad about it.
Get them pumped up.
The defense with a 4-man front. Driver goes in motion.
User control Urlacher.
And it's
What are
incomplete.
they doing? Throw up some
They don't let him
bombs.
catch it.
Thought he had it. Nice timing on the hit.
Driver
Yeah, this game, I mean, maybe the computer AI is better on a higher skill level, but I don't know what's up with these quick passes. But playing another user opponent in this would be a lot of fun. Adrian Peterson, no, this isn't the same Adrian Peterson, if that's what you're asking. There was another Adrian Peterson on the Bears.
Driver.
He
wide
could have been a rookie at this time, but he was a backup running back for the Bears for quite a while.
tipped, and it falls incomplete.
Oh, that's not going to be
And
the offense.
he did solid when he was called upon. Oh, wow, we got a... Is this
4th and
team
10.
fire? Or what is this guy blue for right now? Pack is going for it, and the Bears D is just too strong.
Maybe if they had
And they wasted like 8 seconds in 4 plays. So I'm going to be running the ball a little
First play
bit.
of the drive. The pitch.
I don't want to see all these.
And he's down.
Oh, they're still calling timeouts. You guys lost, don't you get it? Reebok and Gatorade are the sponsors of this game, as you can see in the background right there.
Pitch out. Cuts to the outside. And the Bears
Oh, he gets in for the touchdown. I was trying to stay in bounds and drain a little bit of clock, but it didn't work out that
Chris, when
way.
you don't know your math, it doesn't matter. They're just getting killed out there.
You improves your MLB team a ton today.
And they'll
Rising
attempt the extra point.
star. Yeah, you know, I never got into that series that much.
It's good.
Playing baseball games, more like simplistic gameplay, arcade action, like MLB Slugfest.
And here we go again.
But the game looks amazing, MLB The Show.
Follows his blockers. And Holdman with the tackle. And the
It's
offense
just
takes
hard
over
for me to
at the
buy
31-yard
into
line.
annual sports titles these days. There's not a ton of character to them. Like this game, it's its own unique title, NFL Blitz Pro. It's a one-of-a-kind.
Driver lines up right side.
There's no year attached to it.
He's got to hurry.
Nothing. Midway didn't really make anything else like it. They made the NFL Blitz games, but they all had their own
Man, that defense got
flavor
away like
to
a pack
them.
of dogs.
Yep, he must have had a bunch of sausages in his pocket or something.
Those are the games I like to concentrate on. And you know, in sports, they're a time capsule.
And it's incomplete.
And you don't see these games re-released because the original developers don't have rights to the player names anymore. So really the only way you can experience them is playing the old games.
It's time for them to up that third down conversion average.
Back to pass. On the run.
Brett Favre is not this bad. I don't know what is going on.
First down. Will they go for
Like
it?
the Bears D was good, but this is just noxious.
4th and 2.
Favre is just throwing into coverage every single
Pitches
play.
it. Breaks it to the outside.
Now my Green can't even get 2 yards for a first game.
And now they'll take over on downs.
Well, at least
You will
this
always
time,
have
it
love
won't
for
be as
Blitz
hard getting
Gold.
out of the stadium.
First
It's
play
one of the best.
Thomas tries the middle.
Sitting right behind me.
At the 35-yard line.
2-on-2 NFL Blitz. You can't really beat that.
The defense is stacking up against the run.
I mean, the original Blitz is awesome, but it was only
Knockdown. He had all the time.
One-on-one.
He only came up with that.
Well, I probably would have had that one for a pick.
much more nostalgia for Showtime. Yeah. Well, everyone's got more nostalgia for certain games. And since there was such a variety, you have people that have love for games that other people haven't even played before. Like, I'm sure there are some. Well, look at that little side armor. That was nice. Look at that replay. Sure, there's some people that have love for this version of Blitz. The 03 Packers were a running team, I believe. This game seems to favor the pass. And this ball game is over, folks. The Chicago Bears destroy the Green Bay Packers. It's something that would be totally unrealistic compared to the rivalry and what probably happened in this year. And I just saw Chris Chandler on the bench right there. Adam wants me to play again. I think this is probably my last game tonight. But I'm glad I played this one. It's fun hanging out, talking to the people in the chat tonight. The Bears get the win. But this is a pick-up-and-play football game. There's no penalties. You have NFL caliber type of plays. This is a fun one for sure. NFL Blitz Pro, and it plays more like an NFL Blitz game, but it has simulation aspects to it, like it's 11 on 11. You have a more NFL style playbook, and there's not as many like tip interceptions and stuff like that. So like cheap arcade things happening in the game. NBA Action 95. I would like to see some NBA action. Didn't play that series that much on Sega Genesis, so I would give that a shot. Madden NFL, there's tons of them to play. Bro Gamer wants one more. And Green Magic's saying we gotta play this one at Demon Tap. Yeah, I agree. This would be a fun one to play versus the computer, and not that impressed with what they were doing on offense and on defense, really, the whole thing. But I think playing against another user, knowing that there's no penalties and you can commit pass interference, late hits, all that, this one would be fun to play. Because it gives you that feel, that 11 on 11 feel. I like it. This is a good game. QB challenge, we're gonna do that another time at D-Men Tap 2. I don't know if Joseph played QB challenge yet, but if he hasn't, it's one that we have to play. The cool thing about the roster though is like it's still got a lot of Tecmo Super Bowl guys from the NES game, like late in their career, like Randall Cunningham and Jim Harbaugh and Vinny Testaverde. So we gotta play that one again. It's a lot of fun. And then you got the new guys in there like Peyton Manning. I think Brady's in there. Still got like Dan Marino. But yeah, this is NFL Blitz Pro on the Xbox. Just playing it once. Good game. Missed out on something here. I'll probably be playing this some in the future. We might even play this for a tournament. Joseph seems to like it, Green Magic, at Demon Tap in the future. So, thanks for checking out the stream tonight, guys. But I'm going to sign out here. Take care, and have a good night.